Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today, and we are still with Born to Stand Out. Told you it was a long series. I know, it's a lot. So, this one is Angel's Powder. Interesting. I'm sure it sounds lovely. We have one of these. It's been used, so we're going to switch it out. Okay, so this will be $210 for a 50 milliliter bottle. Wow. And Angel's Powder delights with the cheeky contrast of spun sugar and a faint waft of nail polish and dollhouse paint. We don't know how, but it works. Just get it on skin and try not to smile. Okay. I had to think. I know. Never mind. I was trying to think about the structure of that sentence. So, you know, my mom is a writer, and that, yeah. I know everything's going wrong. My camera's falling apart. I was looking at structures of sentences. It's a mess. Childhood dreams bottled ready for adventure. Imagine the sweet smell of cotton candy after a carousel ride. The faint scent of your mother's nail polish as she helps you dress for a tea party. And the playful hint of paint from a freshly decorated dollhouse. This scent is all that magic. Yeah, there's some strange, they need to check this. This is Ministry of Scent. Angel's Powder captures the feeling when anything felt possible and the world smelled like sweet treats and new beginnings. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, that sentence really was that wonky. Driving me crazy, I'm telling you. My mom wrote tons of articles and things back in the day. And anyway, so notes: nail polish, pink pepper, extra pure, not just pink pepper, extra pure pink pepper, and icing sugar, vanilla sugar, raspberry cotton candy, heliotrope, love heliotrope, white musks, and gaiac wood. I think I'm saying that right. Is it gaiac? I don't know. You say tomatoes, I say tomatoes. So there you go. It probably doesn't work that way with that word, but here we are. So here we go. This one sounds really interesting to me, actually. Very interesting. But here we go. Oh, it just sprayed me in the face. I'm having a bang-up day here. I'm only human. So here we go. She's just like the rest of us. Kind of. And it was such a good day. Oh my God. To you who are new here, I normally am more organized. This has never happened before. I need help. So there you go. Whew. It tastes good. It tastes just like it smells, ironically enough. That's not really ironic. It's just misfortune. So take that, Alanis Morissette. So, okay. I can see what they're speaking about with the nail polish. I am a big fan of nail polish. I'm not wearing it. I got to put it on tonight. I had to remove them yesterday because they were getting raggedy. And so I know nail polish. So I do get a hint of that because I am a huge fan. I have way too many bottles, and there you go. So it's a very refreshing nail polish, though. Normally nail polish is really just not pleasant, the smell. I mean, I don't mind it because I'm used to it, but it's not something I want to wear. So what I'm smelling is raspberry as well. Raspberry and like spun sugar. Yeah, spun sugar and raspberry and the nail polish is interesting. It just adds a little pin, like something underlying, but I don't even know if you'd be able to pull it out necessarily because it's very, very light. Very light. But it almost smells like, you know those dolls? There's dolls out there that smell like scented things. And that's kind of what this smells like. Like if you had one of those strawberry dolls, or like there's other ones that just smell. You smell their head. This is what it smells like. It smells like a doll. A little bit, but not necessarily in a bad way. This is interesting. Definitely getting that vanilla. Definitely getting that raspberry scent. And I do that because like the raspberry flavor tastes. It's always interesting. You know that flavor when you're eating it. It's candy raspberry. That's what this smells like. It's really good, actually, though. It kind of reminds me of, okay, so this is taking me to a different perfume from Zoologist. Actually, this is taking me, it kind of is reminiscent of, oh, it's one of the birds, cockatiel. I'm getting very much a cockatiel vibe from this. If you know Zoologist and you're big into indie brands, this is very similar to that actually, which I already own. The only difference with cockatiel was that it had more of a champagne undertone, and it also had rhubarb, which this does not have rhubarb. Interesting. I think it's just raspberry as far as fruits go. Now I'm checking because I just rattle them off. Yeah, no, it doesn't have anything like that, but it's very similar to that. I also kind of get that sweetness of pink sugar a little bit. So if you know everybody knows pink sugar. It's been around forever, and I have a bottle. You can't take it away from me. I know it's not the most complex scent, but you just can't take it away from me. You can't. I'm gonna dare you to, but I can't get rid of it. So it's kind of that kind of sweetness. It's the beautiful, overly sweet, yay, scent of pink sugar. I do wear that in the summer, and I'm sure I'm choking people out. But to me, it's a summer scent, but it is a little too cloying. That's why I say wear what you want, because I do. But this one is very raspberry, very vanilla, a very powdery sweetness, like almost like a powdered sugar, which would be the heliotrope, kicking up that sugar to be like that. It's very sweet. It's like cupcakes and butterflies. That's what this is. This is, and I usually say this at the end, and you wear what you want when you want. This is a girly scent. This is like so girly. Eating cupcakes with a pretty little dress that's a little cute, going, ew, dabbing your finger in the cupcake and going, ah, that's what this is. Running through a field with butterflies. It's totally what this is. And I think that's the difference between this and cockatiel, is cockatiel, which I do have up there, is a little bit more the mature version of this, with the rhubarb and with the champagne. It's like this little girl grew up. She still loves this scent, but she's grown up. So that's where cockatiel fits in with this. Very interesting though. But let's try it on the wrist. Interesting. On the wrist I'm getting that vanilla and the woodsiness already. So the woodsiness is coming out on my chemistry already, but it's, ooh, that's good. It's woodsy, and there's raspberry and vanilla, but there's almost like an almond scent to it. It's not too cherry, but it could be the raspberry confusing my brain a little bit. Yeah, and then let's try it here on the shirt. On the shirt, it's the raspberry and vanilla yumminess with pink pepper. So the pink pepper is kind of coming through. I like that. I like the spiciness of the pink pepper. It's coming through a little bit on my chemistry, but the only reason is because I know it's on my shirt, and so I'm looking for it, but it's not on my chemistry coming through as much. So if your body loves peppery scents, this may come through a little bit more than it does on mine, which doesn't love the peppery scents as much. So of course your chemistry is going to play big into this, but just know everyone's going to enjoy that vanilla, powdery vanilla, yummy raspberry. Nail polish has kind of disappeared. Interesting. So here it's more peppery. It's my chemistry isn't as peppery. So it's a peppery, raspberry, creamy, powdery vanilla. It all stays kind of in the same vein. It's just woods is coming out more on my chemistry, less pepper. Everywhere else I'm not getting woodsiness, but I'm getting the pepper. So again, chemistry. That's why you always got to buy a sample and try these things yourself. Of course, this might be helpful in that it kind of tells you where it could go. But your chemistry is always going to play a big thing. So unless you see somebody, when you watch reviews like this, who has the same chemistry as you, you're a lucky person, because it'll make your life easier. There you go. But yeah, but this gives you a general idea. You're going to get that vanilla. You're going to get that raspberry. You might get the pepper. It is really pretty, but it is. But it's not so complex. It doesn't have this complexity that's going to make you go, wow. That's not the point of this. It's childhood dreams and happiness. You know, when you're a child, I don't really think you're thinking about those deep notes, you know. I just don't think so. Is the patchouli going to come out? Where's the vetiver? You know, you're not thinking that. You're thinking very basic. And that's kind of what, it's not that it's basic, but it's very simple and childhood dreams and loveliness. but I don't perceive this going like in some crazy direction. But this company, this fragrance house has confused me in the past. It's done some things on this journey, so I'm not going to say that fully. But I will check back in an hour and we'll see where it goes. Okay, so it has been an hour and I can definitely still smell this one. It is as sweet and delicate, and well, I wouldn't say delicate. It is as sweet as can be. It is still lollipops and puppies and unicorns. I'm definitely still getting that. And I'm not meaning that in an insulting way. Some people are like, I really love this fragrance. So do I. That's what it reminds me of. Again, I'm still getting a little bit of that cockatiel. Not necessarily, like I said, they're two different beasts, but just know if you have one, you probably don't need the other unless you really love scent profiles like this. But definitely getting that. It's a little bit more cotton candy right now. Cotton candy, vanilla, powdery, raspberry. That's what's going on with this. That's very much what it is across the board. But let's try it here on the chemistry. Yep. It's the woodsiness. The woodsiness is kind of taking a step back. That's interesting. So it is more of that cotton candy, vanilla, powdery raspberry with musk. Because if you watch my channel, musk loves me and I kind of love it back, kind of. Musk really, my body loves it. It like pulls it out. Like, ah. So it's coming through, but it's not overwhelming it. And that's why I love Born to Stand Out in that way, is if you have a problem with musk overwhelming you and you love scents like this, and you're like, oh, it has musk, try Born to Stand Out, because I feel like it keeps it contained. None of them have been overwhelming. Unlike Zoologist, if it has musk, it tends to really come out on my body more than it does other people sometimes. So something to look at. But let's try it on the shirt. On the shirt, it's definitely more raspberry focused. Raspberry with some vanilla. A little bit of the pepperiness too. You get it here if you're looking for it, but you'd have to be looking for it a little bit more peppery on the shirt, but not overwhelmingly so. And let's try this. Very interesting. Again, these are so deceptive. So this is more peppery. It's more of a tart raspberry with vanilla cream, almost like a vanilla cream butter and pepper. These are so deceptive. This in itself is a completely different scent almost. Same profile, but it's almost like a spicy, like red hot. Like a cinnamon candy with raspberry vanilla. Not getting that anywhere else. No. The main thing coming through on both the shirt and my chemistry is that raspberry. That raspberry note just keeps coming through with like a vanilla cotton candy and a little bit of pepper. More so on this for sure, and on the clothing. And a little bit on my chemistry. It definitely is there. You're definitely going to get a little bit of that pepper that gives it kind of like a red hot kind of thing is what we call them, or hot tamales out here. They're cinnamon candy. I love those things. I love cinnamon. I love cinnamon candy. I eat them and everybody says, isn't that burning your mouth? I don't care. So good. That's what it has. They all have that component, but this one really is cinnamon forward. Cinnamon forward with buttercream. This one's very nice. It's like a pink birthday party. Yeah, it really is. A pink birthday party in spring with a bunch of frilly dresses. That's what this is. It's Easter time. There you go. So I'm going to check back in 4 hours. We'll see where this one's gone. Okay, it has been 5 hours, and this one is very light. So it started to dissipate around 3-4 hours in. Not that you can't smell it. You definitely still can, but it's not necessarily as strong as Born to Stand Out, a lot of their line. I do find that their fragrances last longer than a lot of other fragrance houses that I've tried on this channel. And this one is just a little bit more delicate, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Not everything has to be a powerhouse, but this one is still very lovely, but it hasn't changed a lot since the hour mark. It's still very much that raspberry. It's still that vanilla, buttercream, kind of cotton candy sweetness. So it's just like spun sugar. And a little, depending where on your body it goes, or if you pull out vanilla or more buttercream, there is a difference. It really kind of depends, but it's all kind of that wrapped up into some sugary goodness. If you do not like gourmands, you will not like this one, because it is most definitely a gourmand. But let's try it on the chemistry. Raspberry. We're going to bring back Carol Channing. It's raspberries, because I know if you're in a musical theater like I am, then you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Pure Carol Channing raspberries. R.I.P. So, yeah, I'm getting raspberries with a little bit of vanilla and musk, of course, because it wouldn't be a Binky video if there's no musk. So there you go. But let's check it on the shirt. You know, it's interesting. This one is also the same thing as on my chemistry. And the musk is showing up, and the peppery goodness has kind of dissipated. So it's almost exactly the same. Interesting. And then, completely different here. I tell you, I want to just throw these out. They don't work. They do work. I mean, they hold the fragrance, but barely anything matches these. I don't know if this was a good idea. Maybe next year I'll get rid of them. You let me know. Because I just think nobody smells like this. It's just like a blank page. It smells like a Red Hot. It smells like a cinnamon Red Hot. With the woodsiness and vanilla. But it's mostly like a cinnamon Red Hot. With this beautiful, seriously, woodsiness and like a buttercream. This is so crazy good. They're both really good. But the raspberry is just barely hanging in there. So interesting. No, it's all raspberry. Let me check this again. Yeah, it's raspberry here, though there is a little bit of woodiness and musk on the shirt. No woodsiness on my chemistry. Raspberry and like vanilla and musk. Red Hot, buttercream, and no musk. Interesting. Vanilla with a little bit of woodsiness and raspberry. Interesting. So it just depends. If your skin acts like this, then it's a completely different scent. But that's just not most people. So there you go. But this one's really good. It's just very, like I said, I hate to label things, but you know, hey, I'm just gonna do it. This one's very girly. It's very young, fresh, fun, playful. Like I said, just reminds me of a birthday party, a frilly, happy birthday party. And, you know, it just depends if that's what you're looking for or what you're looking for. Not everybody's looking for that. It's very sweet, though. It's exceptionally sweet. So if you do not like sweet fragrances, this one is going to be a hard one for you. I like gourmands. I'm very much aware of the sweetness level. It's high. I think you know where I'm going with this. If we were going to classify it, this would be, to me, definitely more feminine. That doesn't mean you can't wear it. A male can wear whatever he wants. Female can wear whatever they want. Everyone can wear whatever they want, because that's how we all roll. We don't care. But I'm thinking that if we were going to classify, this would definitely be more of a feminine scent, I think, just because of the gourmands, and it just keeps coming across as pink and girly to me. It really does. But if a guy wore it, I wouldn't be upset about it. And if you like it, you wear it. You live in that birthday party, because this just reminds me of a birthday party. It really does. And not an adult one. There's no booze being served at this one, okay? No. No. So there you go. I think this one is interesting. I think you could wear it year round, but I do think during summer you're going to have a little bit of a hard time, just because it's very sweet. And if you live in a really humid place, like if you're living in Atlanta, you're living in Miami, you know, you're living in the Midwest where it gets really hot and humid, or anywhere else in the world where it gets really hot and humid, this could be a lot, because that tends to magnify, to me, those gourmands and sweetness. You're going to be like, oh, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. But you do what you want, you know. This one, it's very sweet. I mean, it's like I'm getting cavities, kind of sweet. So you keep brushing those teeth because it's a lot. Doesn't mean I don't like it, because it's good. It's really good. But there you go. So if I were going to give this one a rating, I would give this one an 8.5. I really like this one. I really like Cockatiel. I know Cockatiel isn't necessarily one of the more popular fragrances from zoologists, but it keeps bringing me back to that. And I love that fragrance. I love it so much. I wear it during spring mostly. To me, it's a spring scent. And I love it. So this one takes me back to Cockatiel, which I already own. And so I love that one too. So this one just makes me smile and happy. They're right, it does. So yeah, that is my review for, it was Angel Powder. I had to think. Yes, Angel Powder. And with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Unless you are here for the K-drama suggestion, then I invite you to stay here because it's a fun one. Okay, so this suggestion is not like some of the other ones that I've done that are there's been a lot of heavy dramas. There's been a lot of emotions. There's been a lot of deep suggestions because I tend to love dramas. I tend to love those emotional roller coasters. That's just who I am. But this one is just flat out fun. It's just fun. So, this one, okay. I love horror genre. I tend to like older horror a little bit more, but I have a soft spot in my heart for zombie flicks. I have since I was a little kid. I've been watching them probably since I was about 6. I know, I had 2 older brothers, so I mean, what was I gonna do? I was exposed to things I shouldn't have been at a young age, and it was mostly horror flicks. So there you go. I love the zombie genre, and I just couldn't do this series without bringing up Kingdom, which is Korea's version of the zombie apocalypse, which is a little bit different than here in the US. They all have their different folklore. Now, there's also Train to Busan. Korea tends to like those fast-moving zombies, while in the US, the only exception, I think, was Dawn of the Dead 2004, which used the fast zombies. Love that one. That was a good flick. I love watching that one here and there. It's not as well known, but you name any zombie movie, I've seen it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So there you go. Love The Walking Dead until it became literally The Walking Dead. It was like crawling to the finish line. I was like, just pull the plug. I watched it to the end though. After season 5, 6, it just became a lot, but that's just my opinion. If you loved it all the way to the end, no judgment. It was just hard for me. But so the difference with the zombies in South Korea, their zombie lore is that they tend to move quickly. So they're not slowly around. They're moving quickly. Okay, they're like Usain Bolt. They are going for it. So it's insane. Yeah. So this one is actually a very simple plot. It's a zombie series, so there's not going to be a huge amount of plot. That's not the point usually. It's just to have a good time and have some fun with zombiness. If you're into that, you may not be. So basically there's a kingdom. It looks like it's fictional, but it's like Joseon era, before it was called Korea, to the world. And so it's back in the day. So it's more of a historic drama or historic zombie drama. And basically there's a king, he is dying, and he's given a magical herb, and that herb makes him a zombie. But he comes back. He sure does. But of course they attack, when a zombie attacks you, everybody gets in on the fun because you become a zombie. So what ends up happening is there's a whole bunch of zombies. They're everywhere because the king got hungry and so did everybody else. So his queen basically wants to take over the throne, and I think it's the king's son, basically the crown prince. He basically is next in line, but she's being greedy because she wants it. And so the crown prince has to figure out how to resolve this issue of getting the crown plus zombies. I mean, it's a lot to tackle in a couple days. It's a lot, and I thought I had a hard day. So Basically, he teams up with a physician and a mysterious woman, I think it is. And it's been a while since I've seen it, but they basically try to figure out where this came from, what's happening, and how to resolve all these issues. The interesting part, besides moving quickly, is that the zombies don't move around during the day. They actually sleep. I mean, we all need our beauty rest. So, the zombies do too. Don't judge. So they tend to come out at night and when the weather is cool. So they're probably not liking summertime too much, but they're really about winter. They really like winter. So there you go. They do really well in Alaska, Siberia, all kinds of great places. So there you go. They move in really weird ways. That's why I like this. It's very crunchy movement. It's a little bit eerie and creepy. So I highly recommend watching it just to see the way that the movement of the zombies are and how they act. It's crazy. Like, I will give Korea that. It is crazy. It's like, what is this? We haven't seen this before in other genres. Yeah, some of them move quickly, but the movement is just really kind of like, but I love it. So yes, but it's still really worth watching if you are into horror and zombies. It's really kind of cool. Yeah. So, with that, that's it. I know, I just kind of like end it. That's it. There's really not a lot to say. It's horror genre. It's not like, yay. So with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye.